Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, entities of the fog. I'm your host Guildspire, and today we have Calamity versus Instant Dodge, and we are on the Wrecker's Yard. Ace was first found in chase, but looking like Artist not wanting to pursue him just yet. Instead, going for the Renato here, who will take a pretty quick hit. As far as perks go for the Artist, we of course see a Corrupt Intervention and have just revealed a Sloppy Butcher, as well as we do see the Mangled and the Hemorrhage stats effect on Renato here. In addition to that, as far as add-ons are concerned for the killer, we do have a Festering Carry-On and a Severed Hands to boot, as we do see Renato going down here on the edge of the map. Not too bad, all things considered, from the Artist. That being said, we'll have to wait and see if these survivors have completed any gens in the meanwhile. Looks like we have two doubling up on one gen, so I imagine we'll see that pop off in just 1 second. Let's take a look and see who will complete their gen first. That being said, that looked to be a Scourge Hook Pain Residence, regressing that gen by 25%. So unfortunate scenario there, though Claudette about 50% in on their gen, as Ace will take some crows. Interestingly enough, concealing the presence of the Claudette. We'll have to wait and see what that looks like, as Jake here pushed off their gen once again, unable to complete it in time. Survivors in a little bit of a awkward position. Jake definitely getting revealed by a Killer Instinct there. Claudette about 75% of the way through the gen. Ace starting on another one. Looks like they are going to allow their teammates to progress to second stage, most likely. Claudette once again dodging the Dire Crows. Deja Vu from Jake coming in clutch, going to be progressing that by a total of 6% additional. And yeah, Renato most likely going to be progressing to second stage here as two gens popping off for these survivors. Artist just going to be right in front of Renato as they do progress to second stage. One hook away from being sent back to campfire via the entity. And looks like Artist will drop off the camp and will now attempt to chase off the Jake, but no. Instead, falling back from the looks of things, maybe trying to get a very early kill here. That being said, both the Claudette as well as the Jake trying to get in for a unhook here. We'll have to wait and see if it works out in their favor, as Claudette coming in. Artist a bit distracted by the Jake. Claudette taking the hit. Jake with the unhook. And also a hit on the Jake as well. Renato now in chase with a life, getting them a little bit of extra distance. We'll see if it works out in their favor, as Artist continuing to pressure them, though getting the down on the Jake as well. This is a huge power play for the Artist, in a great position for them to be in, as Renato now in dire straits. Jake sitting on the ground, no one picking them up, and looks like Renato will go down on edge map, as we do see a survivor starting to pick up the Jake off in the distance. Artist heading back though. We'll have to wait and see if they get there in time, as Ace will in fact drop off the pickup, and Jake will get picked up here for what could be the first hook and Scourge Hook Pain Residence. Do you want to mention as well, Artist a little bit speedy here when it comes to moving around with his survivor on the shoulder, that of course being a Agitation. So as far as perks are concerned, we are looking at Agitation, Scourge Hook Pain Residence, Sloppy Butcher, and of course good old Corrupt Intervention. Renato here going to be sent back to campfire via the entity now, leaving these survivors in a 3v1 scenario. I imagine the Artist going to be looking around for a Jake here, trying to get them progressed to death as well as quickly as possible. That being said, no survivors on gens right now. Ace now about to be in chase with the Artist, the only healthy survivor as of right now, but not for long, as they will get hit by the M1, applying the Mangled and Hemorrhage status effects. Insta Dodge in a bit of trouble here, as survivors are struggling to rally back. Artist going for the down, setting up the crows, will not fire them off just yet, but instead going to M1 them, I believe, though. I think that actually may have been the Dire Crows getting the hit there in the end. A bit aggressive by the Artist, but it worked out in their favor here, as Ace will be hooked once again for the first time, most likely regressing to most progressed gen by 25%. That being said, both Claudette and Jake right now setting up for a bit of a heal. Sloppy Butcher, though, really slowing things down quite significantly. As far as gens are concerned, we hear a completed gen, a crow coming through, going to be getting the hit on the Claudette. Artist going to be trying to send out crows, potentially to get an additional hit. Setting it up, will barely miss the Claudette, though, forcing her towards the edge of the map. We do see Artist, I think, going for the Jake instead, but hard to say. Doesn't look like it now, as we did not hear any terror radius. Jake maybe going the long way around to get the unhook here, as Artist will get an M1 here on the Claudette. Once again, applying Sloppy Butcher. That hemorrhage and mangled stats effect very, very significant here, especially in the 3v1 scenario. Jake going the long way here for the unhook, trying to stay out of line of sight from the Artist. Will use Urban Evasion to their advantage, getting a quick tap on that gen. Artist, though, seeing them, will end up pushing them away from both the gen and the unhook alike. Unless the Claudette goes in for the unhook, it looks like they will progress to the second stage. They will get the unhook on the ace, however. A bit of a daring play. We'll have to see who the Artist goes for next. Looks like it will be the ace here. We do see that they do have a lucky break in hand, as we do not see scratch marks or blood. However, Claudette looks to be in chase now. Going to be at the shack window, right in the flight path of the Dire Crows. And that will be Claudette hooked here for the first time. Let's see if they bring him to the basement or not. Does not look like it. Instead, once again, bring him to a Scourge Hook Pain residence. Artist here wanting to ensure that insta-dodge is not able to complete any more generators. We see Ace on the gen here. Jake nearby the unhook with that Urban Evasion, staying a little bit stealthy. Will be able to get the unhook in time. Artist, though, going to be coming back, I imagine, right away for the rehook. But no, instead, going to be going for the ace, it looks like, who is swarmed by the Dire Crows, pushed off their gen. Artist, knowing that the ace is one hook away from being sent back to campfire via the entity, will pursue them, sending up the Dire Crows there. Ace in a bit of a rough position, will be able to try and make their way to the pallet, but Artist will get the down. And that there will be Ace sent back to campfire via the entity, leaving just the Jake and Claudette left in this trial to complete as many gens as possible. I'll be honest saying I am doubtful that we are going to see them completing any more gens, or at the very least not completing 5 gens. That being said, we see Survivor here in the locker, and they will just barely dodge the Artist there, even with them being injured. Once again, seeing Jake pushed off the gen, and looks like they are going to be hanging out just for a little bit. Claudette still injured, definitely in a rough spot here, about 50% of the way on this gen. Jake going back to theirs. Deja Vu going to be coming in clutch here. Ideally, these survivors are able to complete at least one more generator. So far, Claudette getting pushed off their gen. Looks like Artist will be in chase with them. They are going to need to hold off this Artist for as long as possible. Claudette taking the Dire Crow, a daring play, but unfortunately not playing out in their favor, as Artist will get the down. Let's take a look and see where Jake is. Looks like they will jump off the gen, not attempting to complete it. Instead, going to be jumping off a little bit early here, as Claudette going to be dragged in over towards Shack. Looks like they will be put on the hook here on top of the hill. Definitely close, though. But about to wiggle off of the Artist's shoulders. And Jake, once again, coming in with that Urban Evasion, trying to get this Survivor off the hook as quickly as possible. However, Artist, I think, going to go over to that gen and will give it a quick kick. With Claudette and Jake in dire straits here. And I imagine Artist will be going for the Claudette here in just a few short moments, though. No sign of them as of just yet. We did hear their terror radius, but it seems to have all but disappeared for both Claudette and Jake. Claudette on the outskirts, but Artist trying to find where they are. Looks like they aren't unsuccessful in doing so, though. Dire Crow's coming out. Ooh, that might be a close one there. Jake may have been seen by the Killer Instinct. We do see more crows being sent out, but no sign of the Artist just yet for the Jake. But once again, going to be sending out that crows. I think the Artist did see the Jake in the Urban Evasion this time around, and sure enough, there they are. Artist being a little bit too keen-eyed for the Jake, unable to hide away in the nick of time. That being said, Jake going to be trying to take Artist away, maybe giving the Claudette enough time to complete another gen. Smash it, though, coming in clutch here, as we will get a little bit of distance here from the Artist. And it looks like ours will have dropped chase. But finding the Claudette instead. Claudette and a World of Hurt. There's the Dire Crow in the flight path, going down underneath the pallet. And looks like they will not pick the Claudette. Instead, going to be going back for the Jake. Jake, once again, Urban Evasion in way. Going to be taking their time here to evade the Artist and potentially go for a pickup on the Claudette. If they are able to do so, it will give them another chance of potentially completing a gen. But Jake, somehow evading the Artist, but their luck was bound to run out as they will take a hit here, and this is looking more and more like a 4K here for Calamity's killer, with Instant Dodge only completing 2 generators. If this is the end result, that will mean the win condition for Instant Dodge is to get a 4K at 2 gens in order to tie the set, but 1 gen or less in order to win. So definitely a tall order for Instant Dodge's killer, and quite a breeze for Calamity's Survivor team. That being said, Artist will have to find the slugged out Survivor. We won't go over to them just yet, as they do have another 2 minutes or so before bleeding out, and the Artist could potentially find them, though it looks like Artist did indeed find them nonetheless, so that there will be the confirmed 4K here for Calamity and their Artist. So GG's to both teams. And with that being said, we are going to get set up for trial number 2 of set number 1 here in just 1 moment, where we are going to see Instant Dodge's Artist against Calamity Survivor team. But before we do go, we do remind everyone here today that you, yes, you the viewers, are our sponsors. All right, and we are back for trial number 2, set number 1. Instant Dodge killing against Calamity's Survivor team, and Instant Dodge is going to need to get a 4K at 2 gens in order to tie, and 1 gen or less in order to win set number 1. That being said, Artist in hot pursuit of the Jake will get a hit within their flight path. Artist in a fantastic position here so far, starting things off strong. That being said, as far as perks are concerned, we have a good old Corrupt Intervention. What killer doesn't bring Corrupt Intervention? It is only the tried and true perk of all Dead by Daylight killers. That being said, in addition to that, we do of course have a Festering Carry-On and a Severed Hands as far as add-ons for the killer. Other perks are concerned, yet to be determined. We'll have to wait and see if those do get revealed, because if the Artist continues just hitting them with their Dire Crows, they are in a fantastic position. However, that Swarm just barely missing the Jake this time around, though looks like this will be a balanced landing, getting the Jake some extra distance here as they just barely dodge the Swarm of Dire Crows. Artist in a bit of a pickle here, as we do see 3 survivors on 3 separate gens, all of which going to be completed quite soon. And the moment that does happen, that will result in a win here in set number 1 for Calamity, meaning that Instant Dodge will either need to win or tie set 2 in order to force a set number 3. That being said, Jake still in chase, faking the pallet. Artist falling for it too. Will get a little bit of distance, especially with that whiff there at the pallet as well. Jake in a fantastic position. 2 gens now completed. The tie condition is now met. 1 more gen about to be done by the Atom, and that there will result in a win for Calamity. Though even if that does turn out to be the case, every gen and every kill still matters here in case of a true tie in set number 3. However, Artist just having a really difficult time here, as they will now be sending out Dire Crows off into the distance, very likely dropping chase with the Jake. And for good reason, this Jake just absolutely out of control. But no, pushing the Jake further in towards the active gens. We will see the Dire Crows applied. And the first down of the trial now succeeded. And looks like, once again, survivors on 2 different gens, it looks like. And 1 currently setting up for a potential unhook. We'll have to see what this looks like, but Adam hanging out around the gen here and the hook as well. we do see, actually, sorry, this is the tap. I think Adam getting pushed off of their gen as we speak. And looks like that is the case as they will be pushed up to the excavator. Looks like they will not get by the Diacros. Quick and quiet, making good use there. Though a swarm of Diacros now applied a fake on the pallet break by the artist, getting them a little bit of extra distance, trying to send out the Diacros, will barely dodge them. Artist, though, going to be setting up for a potential double tap here. Tap kind of needed to make a choice here. Will take the hit and unable to send off the crows in time. However, that will reveal good old Sloppy Butcher as the mangled and hemorrhage side effects have been applied to Adam. Another swarm of Diacros, 4th generator completed. Diacros just barely set up, and there is the down. We do see another survivor here nearby. That there is a Jake. Do want to point out as well that these survivors are probably pretty aware of a Scourgehook Pain Residence, which has regressed the gens by 25%. Both Tap and Jake hanging around the Unhook. Looks like Serena, though, now in chase with the artist over by the shack. And looks like the artist will drop chase instead, going back towards the Unhook. We'll see some Diacros applied to both the Adam and the Tap. And looks like Adam jumping into a locker, getting rid of the Diacros in the nick of time. Though artist still hanging around. Say Nelson Crows in the distance, hitting Jake, but looks like artist will drop chase, wanting to prioritize the gens rather than the heal, but no. Looks like pulling a bit of a mind game even on us, the viewers, as the artist will double back over to the Adam and the Tap, though Tap going to be going for a body block here. Wanting to keep them upright for as long as possible, though we will see the 5th generator completed, meaning that these survivors are only 20 seconds away from being able to escape via the exit gates. Artist going to be going for the hits, and looks like they will pursue the Tap here, who I believe has not been hooked yet. You know, they are worth a total of 6 points, though. Looks like artist will be sending for more dire crows. We'll look at the swarm applied. And looks like the Tap going to get forced out of the tile here, meaning that we are looking for a M1 hit and will successfully get it at the window. We see this arena nearby, but looks like artist will go for the break, and yeah, survivors heading up for a 3-man escape, content with the win and the additional points. Some Diacros being sent out as well, hitting this arena, knowing at least some additional information as the 3 do make their escape. With that being said, that will be Calamity taking the first win here in set number 1. We are going to get set up for set number 2 here in just a few moments. Before we do, though, we do remind everyone here today that we are partnered with Hugdom. Hugdom is a Dead by Daylight competitive community very similar to Champions of Fog. In fact, they're hosting the entirety of Group B over on their channel. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to stop on by, say hi, hit that follow button, and also make sure to join their Discord server too, as they do host tournaments throughout. All right, and we are back for set number 2, trial number 3, instant dodge killing against Calamity Survivor Team. And as far as perks are concerned, we do see the good old Corrupt Intervention. Add-ons, though, for the Plague, going to be the Devotee's Amulet as well as the Blessed Apple. I want to see if those work out in the Plague's favor as they are out and about prowling and going to be infecting every single thing that they can possibly see. We'll see if that works out in their favor here. As so far, no sign of any of the survivors. Let's quickly take a look and see where these survivors are. We see the Adam here currently just walking around. Actually, I guess that was the Tap. Adam actually being pretty close by to the Plague. We see their incense off in the distance. However, Plague going to be making their way over towards the Adam now. Adam in a bit of a difficult position, but looks like Plague will be moving elsewhere, where they will end up finding an Ace from the looks of things. Ace now in the middle of a chase, but looks like Plague gonna be satisfied with the infection and moving back off once again. We see Adam here towards the middle. Here the terrorists of the Plague as well, but Plague seemingly seeing that Adam will make their way over towards them. Scratch marks make the way over towards the fun bus. A bit of a mind game here at the pallet, and Adam not going for the pallet drop. Plague going for the full infection potentially here, as they will go for another volley of vomit. And Adam now full infected, Ace infected as well, both in a bit of a difficult position here. Do you want to note no Thanatophobia, so no slowdown on these gens as of right now, and looks like the Plague will in fact be dropping the chase, and we do hear a gen with a little bit of progress here. They will infect it. No sign of the survivor who was working on it, however. Ace now fully infected. First gen popping off for these survivors. Let's take a quick peek around, and nope, real quick, don't even need to do that, as the Plague has found the Jake, and we keeping them here at this tile. But Jake gonna be trying to make their way to something a little bit higher up, avoiding the Plague's corrupt purge. That being said, though, Jake gonna be fully infected here in just a few short moments, but we'll get the stun on the Plague. Plague with a quick fake, and Jake now kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Unless there's a bounce landing here from the Jake on top of the hill, things are going to be looking quite grim here for them. That being said, they will end up going up onto the hill. No bounce landing from the looks of things, and looks like Jake will be the first survivor down on the ground for trial number 3. That being said, let's take a look and see if we do see any other perks revealed here for the Plague. And this hook here will in fact reveal a Scourge hook. Pain Resonance, regressing the most progressed gen by 25%. Tap getting found out just a little bit early here, as they will make it to the fun bus. And for you keen-eared viewers, you might have just noticed a Bamboozle in the mix. Meaning no Pop Goes Weasel there on that gen would have been quite the strong play. However, Tap coming in for the unhook on the Jake. Tap in a bit of a unfortunate position, as the Plague just looking to hold them here. Jake with the BT body block, but Plague getting around and getting hit through the pallet too, meaning Jake is nearby as second gen is also completed. However, looks like Plague gonna be satisfied with that. Will go for the Scourge hook here on the Tap. Once again, regressing the most progressed gen by 25%, but if 2 gens popping off, it's very possible that the most progressed gen was less than 25%. We'll have to wait and see here. If we take a look around here, we do see the Adam here on the other side. It looks like Shaq's side as of right now. Jake nearby, no Terradius from the Plague, and looks like last survivor here as well, working on a gen. Plague, though, with the Corrupt Purge now in hand. They have chosen violence and have found the Jake. Looks like they will, in fact, bamboozle Fun Bus. Jake in a bit of a unfortunate position unless they're able to get to this pallet in time. Looks like they will dive into a locker to try and avoid and force the pick. Will successfully do so. This will waste a little bit of the Plague's Corrupt Purge. However, Jake now on the hook for the second time. 1 hook away from being sent back to campfire via the Entity. And we do see the unhook in the back of main, meaning 2 survivors both fully infected and injured here. Plague with a little bit of mind game with their Corrupt Purge in hand. Bamboozle coming into play, and Tap in an unfortunate position as they will end up going down. Another survivor in the Plague's line of sight, going for a long-range vomit here, but no connection. Gonna go for the Bamboozle on the LT wall. Though looks like a bit of a mind game fake. Corrupt Purge, only about a quarter of time left. A dodge from the survivor, the Ace, but will take the M1 hit, leaving just the Adam to go for the unhook here. And looks like they will successfully get the unhook. Jake making their way away, but Plague will end up dropping back, maybe going for the Adam here. Indeed they will. Corrupt Purge has since ended, but Adam definitely in a weak position here. The Plague will end up dropping chase, it looks like. Plague now at the fun bus with Bamboozle in hand. Adam getting pushed further away from their survivor teammates, slugged out on the ground, though Plague looking to drop the chase. Instead, going back for the slug, seeing scratch marks from the Jake for the potential pickup. We do see Ace, but Jake going down. Tap getting picked up thereafter. The Plague maybe being a little bit greedy here, though. The Ace with the flashlight in hand, trying to set up for a flashlight save, but Plague being wise to that plan. will double back and potentially get the down here on the ace if they are not careful. That being said, both Adam and Tap still upright elsewhere, though we do see the tap here. And looks like we will end up getting a pallet stun. Plague gonna be dropping chase, going back for the pickup. We do see scratch marks here as well. We do see the pickup on the Jake, but a bit of a loop it friend scenario. Jake gonna be going, no, they aren't going to go down. That looks to be a soul guard, friends, as that is a deep wound status effect getting applied. We do in fact see another bamboozle here, attempted mind game, though Plague gonna be dropping chase once again, looking like they are gonna make their way over towards the shack side to try and interrupt these gens. Survivor's doing a fantastic job rallying back here as the 4th gen now completed. Plague gonna be grabbing their Corrupt Purge from their pool of devotion. And now the Plague gonna be trying to once again go for a potential slug out here. Survivors doing a great job staying calm underneath this immense amount of pressure that the Plague has put on them. That being said, though, looks like we do have a chase, a long-range vomit. Not able to get the hit, though. Another one from the top, but the Survivor just narrowly dodging it as they do make their way back to the corner of main. No gens here, though, so Plague in a bit of an unfortunate position, as this looks to be the Tap, who's doing a great job avoiding line of sight. Plague, though, with the lunge will not get the hit. Some mind games coming in at the L wall, but Plague just not able to take advantage of it until this very moment where they will get the down. However, their power just about expired now. This is going to be very interesting, though we do see a Scourge Stroke Pain Resonance regressing the most progressed gen by 25%, plus a skill check miss, regressing that gen by additional 10%. So an unfortunate position here for the Survivors. We do see the tap coming in for the unhook. Ace about 75% on this gen. We do see another Survivor on it as well, though. Looks like Jake will be walking away instead. We do see Plague now going for what looks to be the tap, trying to get them moved to 2nd stage. And looks like we will in fact see the down, but by the time the Plague is able to pick them up, this will be the 5th gen completed. X-Gate's 20 seconds away from being completed, and the Survivors escaping via the X-Gates. However, there is a no way out in the mix, meaning that these Survivors do need to wait a total of 48 seconds before these X-Gates are able to be opened. That being said, Survivors going to start cleansing. We do see scratch marks trying to make their way over towards the unhook. Plague, though, going to be pushing them off. We do see the Ace now healed up. I imagine Survivor is going to be joining suits. Jake was seen briefly, but looks like Plague will not push them any further. About 30 seconds left before Tap does progress to death. Scratch marks just going back and forth here, trying to buy the Survivors some time. That being said, though, they can't get too greedy lest the Plague potentially go for the down. Scratch marks make their way over towards the X-Gate, but Plague realizing they have to make a decision, either the hook or the X-Gate. You can't get both, which means we probably will see Jake for the unhook here in just a few moments. There it is, just in the nick of time. Plague trying to get the infection on the Ace, but unsuccessful in doing so. We do see the tap coming in. The Jake is here too. All of them are primed and ready for the escape via the X-Gate. And looks like this last Survivor actually going to be making their way over towards the hatch. Jake making a mad dash towards the shack as we speak. Plague in hot pursuit. The question is, who will get there first? No exhaustion perk here for Jake, but it looks like it will be a clean escape here into the hatch for Calamity's Survivor team. All right, and we are back for trial number 4 of set number 2. And this could be the very last trial, as Calamity just needs to get a 2K7 hook in order to secure a victory here in set 2 and the match overall. The question is whether or not Instant Dodge's Survivor team can rally back and get enough Survivors and stages outside of the X-Gate in order to secure a victory and potentially force a set number 3. With that being said, we have the Plague looking around trying to identify where these survivors are. Let's take a quick peek and see where they might just be. So far, no sign of the Plague, though Jake very close to the Plague and will get found out, caught in the corner and fully infected before going down. Though we do have the body blocking rule, that one was not long enough in order to enact that rule right there, and Plague will successfully get the down. This is why, friends, you never go down in a corner against the Plague, lest you end up in a less than ideal situation. As far as perks are concerned, there was, of course, a Corrupting Invention. There is also an Agitation. As far as add-ons are concerned, there is Ashen Apple and a Blessed Apple as well. This Plague woke up and shows violence, to say the least, as we do see rather quick down there on the Ace and an infection on the Claudette as Jake was unhooked. And looks like Plague here looking for the kill, as they are going to be going for the Jake once again. I believe we also did see the Plague vault earlier, which did also reveal Bamboozle, and last but not least, a Scourge Hook Pain Resonance was revealed with the hook of Jake. So full build for the Plague: Corrupt Invention, Agitation, Bamboozle, and Scourge Hook Pain Resonance. And looks like Plague gonna be bringing the Jake down into the basement here, as we do see a pickup on the Ace and a full infection on the Claudette, as well as Plague's Corrupt Purge will end. Overall, really strong start here from the Plague and Calamity's Killer. At this point in time, they just need to get, one more kill, the kill on Jake, and one hook thereafter, and they are good to go, as they will have claimed victory here in set number 2. That being said, Plague just kind of hanging around Shack. Looks like Ace about 50% way on their gen. Looks like Claudette about 70% on theirs. Jake just hanging out in basement, and Renato trying to make their way over towards the basement unhooked, but they are going to have to be very careful, as Plague's in a fantastic position to full infect them. Plague, though, still looking around. Renato not going to give up just yet, but time is ticking away, and at this point in time, I do not think Renato has the ability to go in for the unhook. Plague just going to be hovering around the gen, it looks like, though, and Renato will stick around watching Ace as they do progress towards death. With that being said, Plague just needs another kill plus one additional hook, and Calamity walk away victorious here in set number 2. Looks like Renato will jump on a gen. Plague still hanging around, looking at the gens. I imagine they will find the Renato here in just a moment. Sure enough, there they are. Renato going to be trying to evade the Plague's Purge. A little bit of mind game here, trying to get the Renato to commit to his side. Looks like they are on the other side of this wall. Will get the vault in time, as well as a little bit of distance from life, it would seem. And looks like there will be no infection just yet. Renato making the way over towards main. Plague getting the hit with the Purge, but not actually landing, as Renato not infected just yet. Both the Ace and the Claudette still injured, working on gens. Renato now infected, pallet going down, trying to make a little bit of distance between them and the Plague. The Renato did interrupt the survivor over here, as the gen's still being worked on. Renato, though, fully infected, trying to make their way over towards a completed generator, giving their survivor team a little bit of breathing room to complete these last 3 gens. However, caught out in the middle of nowhere, Renato will go down, and this here could potentially be a Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, regressing the most progressed gen by 25%, as Renato going to be dragged further in towards the middle, allowing the Plague to potentially defend both the gen and the Renato here, and sure enough, there's the Scourge Hook. Actually, do want to note, as we are looking at the Plague now, they did not get a Scourge Hook, it looks like, on the first survivor. So this is actually the first Scourge Hook that has come into play. That being said, it's not like they must have needed it, As third gen popping off now. Claudette in a little bit of trouble. Actually, no, sorry. Ace in a little bit of trouble as they do get found out here by the fun bus. And looks like they will make it to the pallet in time, doing a little bit of a pre-drop, making sure they do not take the down at the pallet. Plague with a Corrupt Purge nearby, though, and looks like they will take their pool of devotion. Ace, though, going up onto the hill, looks like potentially a bounce landing, but the Plague going to go for a long-range vomit will not land, but the Ace going down at the corner, and this will be the first hook here for Ace. At this point in time, the Plague could just camp out Ace to death, and that there will secure victory. Otherwise, a fresh hook on the Claudette will also secure victory here for Calamity. So either or is very much a possibility. I do not see a way for Instant Dodge to make it out here, especially as the Plague has found the Renato, it would seem. So Renato in a bit of a pickle here as they will take the hit from the Corrupt Purge. Plague with just a little bit more time left on their Purge could potentially catch this Claudette off guard if they do go for the on-the-hook. Keep in mind, Agitation coming into play here as the Plague a little bit faster with the Survivor on their shoulder. No sign of the on-hook just yet. Oh, there it is. The hook has changed positions just in the nick of time, though, as the Corrupt Purge has ended. And looks like the Plague wanting to secure the end result here will go for the Claudette, getting the down over the pallet. And if they were to simply hook the Claudette here, that there will secure victory. But Plague wanting all or nothing, going to be going for the unhook here on these survivors, finding the Jake, it sounds like, and the Ace nearby, and the Renato and the Ace, and looks like they will end up going for Renato here. Renato with the pre-drop in mid. Ace over on Shaq's side. Going to be difficult for them to make their way over towards the pickup, but we do see scratch marks making the way. This might be a bit of a misplay, though, as the Plague in hot pursuit. Looks like they will get the pickup on the Claudette, getting the down on the Ace. Claudette now going to be trying to make their way over towards the main building. I do not believe they have a bounce landing here, so Claudette kind of caught out in the middle of nowhere. Pallet already down, Plague in hot pursuit, and they will get the down here. That there is, once again, the victory for Calamity if they get the hook here on Claudette, and looks like they will secure it. So that there will be the win for Calamity. Players on both sides now playing just for the honor and pride of their teams, as Calamity here will walk away victorious here in round number 4. So GG, well played above teams. Once again, congratulations to Calamity, and let's see what the end result of this trial will be, as we do see the unlock attempt here from the Renato on the Claudette will get it successfully. Plague trying to get around to get the down on the Renato. Claudette coming in for the body block potentially, but will not be able to actually take the hit. Instead, Renato going to be faked out at the pallet, and I think the Plague goes for a swing here, and the miss. Plague unable to get the hit, but will get Bloodlust 1 in, meaning that Renato will go down here at the pallet fault. Looks like Plague, though, will go for the pickup and secure the kill here on Renato, leaving just the Ace and the Claudette left in this trial to potentially try and complete another 2 generators. I'll have to wait and see if that is at all possible. Keep in mind, they still have 1 stack of Scourge Hook Pain Resistance, so I do think that was the Scourge Hook stack for the Jake earlier, which was not used. So Plague kind of here just with about 2 perks, the Bamboozle and Agitation in the mix. That being said, I think that will be more than enough, as we do see a Survivor over by Shaq. Plague checking out that gen as well. I believe that was the Ace that we saw. Nope, that's the Claudette. Bamboozle coming to play here at the Shack. Trying to go for a bit of a mind game here. Trapping the Claudette here. Nope, that's Ace. I'm getting all the Survivor coffee noises wrong. Sometimes you can hear and differentiate the little fine details, but apparently I have not spent enough time watching Survivors. Oh no, yeah, that is Ace. But with that being said, Plague going for the swing. We'll get that on the Ace. And with this hook, no. Plague saying, you know what? I could just hook Ace and call it there. You know, we're right at Shack, which means they can't get Hatch. It'd be clean and easy, but no. Plague wants the 4K, and looks like they will find the Claudette here. And Claudette pointing for a final chase here at the main building. A lot are going to make their way around towards the window, but Plague right behind them. Plague going for the down, and that there will be the final down of this trial. So once again, GG, well played to both teams, and once again, congratulations to Calamity. With that being said, this is our last match of today. We do have another match tomorrow at 2 p.m. CST. I believe that is a Turnham versus Elysium. So definitely a match you'll want to see. So mark your calendar, set up your alarms, whatever you need to do to be here at that point in time to witness one hell of a match between two amazing teams. That being said, we have the ace here now about to be put on hook, and looks like they're going to go down into the basement as well. With that being said, folks, thank you all for joining us today. As always, you, the viewers, are our sponsor. So as they watch the bits that I tip, auto subs they buy, and of course the Rogue Energy you buy using the code COTF goes supporting Shares of Fog and the prize pool for Group A and Group B. And for those of you on YouTube, you can support us as well as you can hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That way you can be notified when our videos go live. And for those of you on YouTube, once again, thank you for all of your support.